Hello garden friends and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. I am Debbie. I garden in Zone 5B, inspiring you to bloom, grow, and conserve in your garden. So why pre-sprout your ranunculus and anemones? In this video, I'll explain the hows and whys to pre-sprouting your ranunculus and anemones. Make sure you stay till the end where I share a garden tip about scattering your poppy seeds. So why do you want to pre-sprout your ranunculus and anemones? Number one, it saves space and it allows only the healthiest corms, which are the seeds of the ranunculus, to be planted in your garden. It also gives you a head start and starts growing roots before you plant outside. So it gives you a couple of weeks head start. They are a cool season flower and they generally don't like the heat of the summer. So you can put those out as soon as you can work your soil, and that's what I intend to do. Last year I did try to grow those and I did have success, but the rabbits had eaten them all up. And so this year what I'm going to be doing is doing some row covers and then some baskets like I did for the dahlia tubers to protect them. And these are the varieties that I'll be growing. Today I'm going to be planting all of the corms that I got from Nicole from Flower Hill Farm. Make sure you subscribe to her channel and I will link it below. She is very entertaining and full of energy, so make sure you check that out. I got ranunculus from her, and right now they are in the water, and I'll explain that in a second. So what I got for her, she put these in these brown paper bags. So I have Super Greens White Ranunculus, and I'll put a picture above. Super Green Ranunculus, and there were 5 each of these. Tecolet Purple, Amandine Gold, and Amandine Barbie. So those are all the ones that I got from Nicole. And then from Longfield Garden, I am going to be planting these in about 2 weeks. So right now, these should sprout in 10 to 14 days, and that brings us to the beginning of March. Might be a little too soon to plant those outside, so I'm going to start these today. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going to be pre-sprouting these. So I will be planting these when the weather breaks, hopefully by mid-March. And so this is from Longfield Gardens, and I purchased Avid Picotee. And these have 25 corms. The next one I have is Tecolet Salmon, if that's how you pronounce it. And this one is showing 15. This one has a 25 count and it's Tomer Picote. This one is Tomer White, a 25 count. And I also purchased some anemones from Longfield Gardens, and this is Anemone St. Bridget Assorted Colors, and there are 25 of these. And I also purchased 25 anemones from Jake, the wholesale for the small scale flower farmer, and he has a website on Facebook if you want to check that out. So what you need to do first is you need to put them in water and they plump up. So this is what they look like at first. So they look like little octopi. The little tentacles are down. You can see the roots here, and this was the stem. And who would think this little tiny thing would grow into the beautiful flower that it is? So that is a ranunculus. This is also one, but you can't really see the stem on this, but you can see the little tentacles going down. And then this is the anemone, and they say these are all different shapes, but I'm told that the pointy side goes down, so I'm going to put it in like that, and that's the anemone. So what I have done is about 3 hours ago I put them, this is actually from a PetSmart, it's for an aquarium, and this just bubbles. So I'll link this in the description box below as well. And this is for 10 gallons. So I put water in a 10-gallon container and it's been bubbling, and they say to have it in bubbling water for about 3 to 4 hours. Now I have heard of people also doing it in their sink or a bucket and having water trickle, as long as you keep the water oxygenated, and that's what this filter does. Then what I also, so I can keep these all separate and I don't forget which ones are which, I bought these mesh bags. So what I do is put the tag in here along with the corms and then sit it in the water. And again, I'll show you that downstairs. And I will link those in the description box below too. These are quite big. I'm going to also use these to cover the dahlias so they don't have insect pressure. I've seen it from another fellow friend on YouTube, Sunshine and Flora, and she puts these over her dahlias, and I'm going to do that as well. So now let's go downstairs in my garden grow room and get started on my pre-sprouting. Okay, this is my little bubbler. This is that 10-gallon oxygenator for aquariums, and I'm just using it to oxygenate the ranunculus and the anemones. It's now been over 3 hours, so I'm going to take these bags, and you can see here's the bags, and we'll see how plump they got. I showed you previously what they look like, and I will actually show you a comparison of how big they get. Like today we're just going to do the ranunculus from Flower Hill Farm and the anemones from Jake, the small scale flower farmers. So let's get started. Okay, now we're back. I have some examples. So this was before I soaked it. And hopefully you could see that. And this is after soaking it. And you can see that it got quite bigger. This is the difference. And then the anemones, this one here is the one that was not in water, and this one is the one that I put in water for about 4 hours. So you could see the difference. And that should start germination if you pre-sprout them like this. So let's get started. I'll start with the ranunculus first. I already have my soil ready, and this time I used Vermont compost. I'm using this for some of my soil blocks as well. And then I'm using this for my ranunculus because I'm going to be putting this right into my garden when I plant it. I also put some green sand in here and some mycorrhiza, as I'm doing with all of my planting this year. And so what I'll do is I will take them out of this bag, and I'm going to put the tag in front of them so I know which one they are. And you want the tentacle sides down. So we're going to cover these up, but tentacle sides down. So I have 5 of them, and let's see if I can fit 5 here. You can put them right next to each other. It doesn't matter because all we're doing right here is just pre-sprouting them. So here's my second one. Tentacles down. I have Almondine Barbie, Armandine Gold, Tekla Tea Purple, Super Green Yellow, and Super Green White. So now what I'm going to cover these guys up. You want to store them in a cool, dark place. So I'm going to just put them in my crawl space, and it's where it's dark. And I'll check those in about a week to 10 days. Okay, So these are my ranunculus that I'm going to be starting, and then in 2 weeks I will be starting all the other ones from Longfield Gardens. Forgot one thing, what I put on everything to retain moisture. I'm going to put a little bit of vermiculite on it. I'm not sure you really even need it, but I'm going to do it anyways. So now let's do our anemones, and I believe I have 25 of those. And these are just assorted, if I'm not mistaken, from Jake, the Wholesale for the small scale flower farmer. So these are a little bit harder to tell, but I'm going to assume this is the stalk right here. So you're going to put these down like this. And I'm just going to put the anemones. In the cold summer. Last year when I did this, I had such success pre-sprouting. I was so happy. Put them out, and those darn bunnies ate everyone because it was the beginning of spring and they had nothing green to eat, so they devoured them. Then it looked like they were coming back up, and they did it again. So this year I have to have a different plan of attack. And as I said, I'm going to be putting some mesh baskets over them like I did the dahlias last year. And then, because it might still freeze, I will be covering them up with freeze cloth and possibly some hoops as well. So make sure you stay tuned to my channel, and I will keep you updated. So to give you a little synopsis of what you need to do to pre-sprout your ranunculus and anemones, you need to soak them for 3 to 4 hours prior, put some soil in the bottom, stick the corms for the ranunculus, the little tentacles side down, the anemones, you try to put the pointy side down, or if you see a stalk, the stalk of course will go up. Then you cover them with soil again, and I put a little vermiculite. Wait 10 to 14 days, keep them in a cool, dark spot, and check them at that time. That's it. I hope you're getting really excited about spring. The weather is definitely warming up a bit. I'm hoping that's a change of weather. The winter here hasn't been all that bad, but I hate to jinx myself, and we get probably a winter storm any day now. But regardless, the weather will be changing soon, and I'm super excited. My grow room is starting to get really crowded, so the cool flowers that I have growing right now, I will be putting out in like a mini greenhouse when the weather breaks, so that I have room to start my vegetables. So give me a like and comment below your favorite spring flower. In my next video, I'm going to share my proven winners order that I placed in December and what I'll be growing this year in my garden. Exciting and exhausting times are coming up, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for those future videos. Now I'd like to share that garden tip about scattering your poppy seeds. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening. Bye-bye.